We had a gentleman left us a scathing review on Google. It's still there if you want to go see it. He said he brought us a 300-pound doe, and he didn't understand why he only got back 72 pounds of meat.
A 300-pound doe.
I'll say this. I said, look, by the time I saw that deer, it was skinned and gutted hanging in a cooler. It looked to me like a very large buck, like a 180 to 190-pound buck. Said, if you said that was a doe, I obviously you know the difference between a buck and a doe, so it's a doe. That is probably the biggest doe that's been shot in Mississippi in a long time.
Yeah.
But I can promise you, you did not bring me a 300-pound doe. I said, did you weigh it? He said, no, my buddy looked at it. He said it was 300 pounds too. I can't.
I got a witness.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Goodness, man. And so, yeah, we got publicly accused of stealing half of that guy's meat.
Yeah. 300-pound doe.
If anybody out there shoots a 300-pound doe, I want to see it.
Hey, welcome back to the Buck Junkies Podcast. We are back in studio today. Got Mikey over here with me, but we got a couple new faces y'all hadn't seen. We got some special guests today. These are our buddies from High Cotton Meats. They're a local deer processing company here in the Hernando area. And we got Mr. Daniel Kilsey.
Yes, sir.
And then Scott Jameson. I got them right, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
All right. Gentlemen, we are glad to have y'all here today.
Yep.
Thanks for taking time out. I know deer season's underway here in Mississippi.
It is.
It is.
We opened up the first of the month bow season, so I know y'all are it probably ain't kicked off just hot for y'all yet, but it's coming, ain't it?
It is. It is. We're ready. I think we're about doing the same as last year, but I think we got a cold snap coming in about a week and a half.
I can't.
Yeah, we're excited.
Wait.
We're excited. We've worked hard to get the brand out there, and
y'all are ready to be busy, huh?
We are.
All right. Well, before we get underway today, we got a new giveaway we're fixing to kick off.
Yeah.
It's going to start Sunday, October 19th, and run through Tuesday, October 28th at 8:59 Central is what the note they gave me. And what we're doing here, this is going to be, we've got a custom True Brand cutting board back there that a cutting board guy made for us and sent us. And then we got our new seasonings that we launched. Y'all seen me and Mikey using some of them in some videos, but it's the Camp House seasoning, the Buck Junkie deer meat seasoning, and the new turkey dust seasoning. Plus, you're going to get Victorinox black-handled 6-inch boning knife. And we're going to make a post on the Buck Junkies community on the Facebook page. Jacob will probably get it up there for us. He's over here running the board. But we're just going to make a post about the giveaway, and all we're asking you to do is comment a recipe that you would like to see us do at Buck Junkies. It could be one of your favorite wild game recipes or whatever. Me and Mikey are going to sit down. We're going to pick our favorite one. We're either going to cook it together or we're going to figure out which one of us is going to cook it. But we have a lot of time doing camp cooks, guys. That's what we do a lot here at Buck Junkies is camp life.
Yep.
And so we do a ton of cooking. I mean, we may not kill the biggest deer, but we're going to eat good, by God.
Yeah, likewise.
But it's going to be really easy. And then we're going to have some giveaways in first place is going to get all that stuff I mentioned. And then second place, we're going to give them some prizes too, probably some seasonings. And we'll figure something out. Yeah, we'll figure all that out. And then we'll be more, we'll talk more about it on the next episode too. But I wanted to get that out there, let y'all know it's coming. So jump on that. Let's see. The Buck Junkies Outdoors Club. I almost said let's get the community. That it's going to be on the Buck Junkies Outdoor Club Facebook page. If y'all hadn't joined that, there's a bunch of cool people hanging out there. We kind of built a little community, and they just talk about the same kind of stuff. We share everything we're doing, but everybody else shares what they're doing on their hunting clubs and stuff they're shooting and all that. And I need to get you guys on there talking about deer process.
We do. That'll be great.
Yeah, come on, make a post. Tell them how it's going here in North Mississippi. But that's all. That's about all I have for housekeeping. So we can jump right into the podcast. But I wanted y'all to come in because I got to go hunting in Texas last year, and I killed an axis deer. And I was going right back out of town when I got back home with it. I didn't have nothing to do. I didn't have time to do the meat. Mm-hmm. So I went and saw Mr. Scott, and he was like, "Man, I can take care of anything." That's what he told me. So I'd already had the meat cut up. It was already in coolers, and I turned it in. And I think, man, you had called me back before I got back in town. It was like within a week, y'all had it done, packaged, and perfect. I picked it up. Meat was fabulous. And we kind of got to talking a little bit about process, and it's like, man, we need to have y'all come on the podcast and tell everybody a little bit about what y'all do. So, Mikey, I know you've taken deer to processors. I've taken deer to processors. You got any good stories about an experience you've had taking anything to a processor?
Yeah, probably a couple. I mean, there's always been that, and I'm sure we'll talk about that today, but it has happened to me before where I've taken deer to processors, and I'm pretty sure I didn't get my freaking deer back. Yeah. You take a deer in November and don't get it back till February. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want it back or not.
Yeah. I tell you, I've had a bad one. And this was been years ago. I took a cooler of meat that we had deboned and everything, dropped off the whole cooler to a guy. Mm-hmm. And I'd used it before and had no problems. And I understand people have problems, but man, he kept the cooler, he kept the meat. I had to try to track him down, went out of business. I mean, and it wasn't just me. He did it for a lot of people. I know that happens.
Yeah.
But that's why it's important to find you, before even season goes on, find you a reputable processor, one that that's doing good work, that you're getting your meat back. And most of the guys, I know, like y'all, when I went in, man, you was like, man, y'all want to check it out? You can see what we're doing, see our coolers. You can see where the guys are processing right there where you go in.
Yep.
There's nothing hid. There's no smoke and mirrors. You're getting your meat.
Yes, sir.
So I guess me and Scott, we've been hunting forever. I grew up doing it, been hunting for the last 20 years here in Mississippi. Scott's been here forever, hunting the same areas, I guess, your whole life.
For my whole life.
And we've learned to process our own.
Yeah.
And it got to the point for us personally, we used to have our deer processed at a couple different processors, and it was okay. And every once in a while you get a bad run. But for the most part, we would use, y'all remember Mike Renfro?
Yeah.
When Renfro was in business, he did a great job, and he was real cool. We would actually process it ourselves, except for the grind, because we didn't have a grinder good enough to break it all down and get all gummed up. Well, he went out of business, and we just started doing it ourselves. So when the opportunity to buy a processor came up, we jumped at it with the idea that we want to put out a top-notch product regardless of the cost. And fortunately for us, we run a landscape company during the year, and we needed something to do with the guys in the winter to keep them busy. Mm-hmm. So this worked out perfectly. And so we trained them how to do this. And the goal was never to make a killing doing it, which that's all the other processors that we know of. That's pretty much what they do. Like, that's it. They work 3-4 months out of the year, then they're done. So the goal was to be able to turn out an amazing product and break even on it. And because of that, our growth has been over 120% in the last 2 years.
And it has been profitable.
Oh yeah, it has been, but that wasn't the goal.
Yeah.
And so as long as we keep that mentality that we're just looking for quality first, take care of our customers, take care of our guys, create something that's going to be around for a long time, I think we're just going to keep on growing.
So how long has High Cotton been in business? When did y'all start?
Bought the place in 2022. It was a Highway 301 deer processing, which had a really bad name at the time. So we got a steal of a deal on the property and the processor and all that. But at the same time, that kind of hurt because once we transitioned over to High Cotton Meats in the 23-24 season, we had to overcome that bad name. And so it's taken a couple years, but we're back over about what they were doing on average prior to their downturn. And so we hope to just keep on growing.
So tell everybody real quick where y'all are actually located. So we get local people that want to come bring y'all some meat. Where can they find you right now?
7316 Highway 301.
Okay.
So Lake Cormorant, we're right off the interstate, man. Maybe half a mile, 3/4 mile off 69. Real quick, in and out, huge driveway. People can pull in with their trailers and turn around with no trouble. They can come in and check out the facility. They can watch my guys work. So that was another thing when we started the processor was any other processor I'd ever been to, you can smell it the second you get out of your truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've smelled them coolers. That's an automatic turnoff, man.
Right.
And it is.
You have a choice. That's where you had to go. And so that was one of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on is we keep it really clean. And we try to keep that joker as clean as possible so it smells as good as possible at all times. And I think we've been successful.
Yeah. Well, today I kind of thought we'd talk a little bit about the process of what it's like taking a deer to the processor, dropping it off, and then coming back picking it up. And you guys could fill in what y'all do because I know it starts with us, the hunter.
That's right.
And I think to me that's one of the most important things about how you handle that deer in the field. If you want quality meat back, you got to be thinking about that from the moment you pull that trigger or let go of that arrow.
Yep. Especially during bow season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Scott, you want to talk?
I mean, it's kind of tailored to each hunter. There's a general cost if you bring in a whole deer. $40 to skin and gut it. $125 for a standard process. That's your back straps how you want it. Your tenderloins whole, ham steaks, ball roast, tenderized meat, and rest and grind. But we can tailor the cost to what you want to spend. And cooler deers, if you bring it in, it's $85 for a cooler deer.
A debone.
debone cooler deer. If somebody brings in bits and pieces, it's kind of specific to what they bring us, so we can tailor the cost to them.
Gotcha.
As far as quality, though, you're right. One of the things that we can't help the customer with, and obviously we're going to take that meat, we're going to treat it as good as we can from the time we get it in to the time we get it out. But like you were just talking about, the hunter has a responsibility too to get that deer gutted and cooled as quickly as possible before they get it to us. And we've had some issues in the past where they bring deer and it was in the back of it's been in the back of the truck for a day.
Yeah.
And that's fine if it's 30 degrees out. But if it's 55, 60 and it's sitting there with the sun on it for a couple days, man, you're not going to get the quality back that you think you're going to get back. And we can't help.
Yeah. So this time of year, what would you give guys advice on how they should treat that animal right before they bring it to you? Like once it's harvested.
As soon as that deer is down, I'm a fan of gutting them in the field right there where they lay, getting the guts out of them. And if I usually carry a cooler with ice, and usually we'll take I don't know, I'm sure y'all do it too, gallon jugs of ice. Just
freeze a milk jug.
Yes.
And so we bring them in the coolers. If we shoot something, we gut them, put it in the cavity, throw it in the truck, get it to a processor as quickly as possible. Yeah, I'm thinking like 2 or 3 hours at 65, 70 degrees. Yeah. You need to have that deer hanging or start breaking it down and get it in the cooler.
Gotcha. And that goes, even we have warm days in November. You still need to be thinking about that, even if rifle season opens up, because we can have those 75-degree days where you're in the stand in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. And I guess it's more of an issue for the morning hunt guys. The guys are going to hunt all day. What do you do if you shoot one at 10 o'clock in the morning and your processor's a couple hours away from you? You need to make sure that you get that joker as cool as possible. So you're probably talking about breaking her down and putting her in a cooler and keeping her cold the whole way. Yeah.
Does it? What is the ideal way to break them down? I mean, y'all prefer them one way or the other, deboned or not deboned?
So we tell our customers it's financially, it's a better value to bring me a whole deer. Like we want the carcass, skin on. If you want to leave skin on, that's fine. We prefer it because it's easier to handle before we get it in the cooler. But if you don't want to pay that skin fee, the $25 skin fee if you've already got it, then go ahead and put it on trash bag or put the whole thing in a trash bag. The reason I say that is, standard processing is $125 on the carcass. That's skinned and gutted when you bring it to us. It's $100 on a cooler. That's not deboned, but that's in a cooler already broken down.
Like quartered.
Yes.
Yeah.
The difference is that $25 is going to buy you probably 30% more meat as far as your yield, because we're going to go through and we're going to scavenge every piece of usable meat off that carcass as possible. The neck's got a couple pounds on it. The in between the ribs have a couple pounds on it, and it's all going to go to grind. But still, it's more more bang for
you get more yield.
Absolutely,
you're not getting one sack of meat.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
So what condition does the average guy? What do y'all see the most? Are they coming in whole, not gutted, or
most of them?
All of them are whole.
Really?
Yeah, for the majority. I mean, we'll get a lot of cooler deer in as the year gets going, and it's cool enough for the guys out in the field that they can break it down and put it in a cooler and keep hunting, and then they'll bring it in at the end. But for the most part, they're whole deer.
Well, like for us, hunting a couple counties away.
Yeah.
Do we have the time to shoot a deer, not field dress it, and get it to you when it's warm, or is that's just a bad idea all the way around?
I mean, it could work.
My question is like in hours wise, like in just say you're on a highs in the middle of the day is 50 to 60 degrees, but it's 30 to 40, and which is about our average temperature through the winter here. Where do you need to really get them guts out if you can't get it to y'all within?
I think 55, 65 as a high. If you keep the deer out of the sun, so just get it in the shade. You might have 4 hours before you can get it to us, before we can get it in a cooler.
Yeah.
And that would be obviously assuming put something in the body cavity, man.
Okay.
Like get something in the body cavity as quickly as possible. That's especially near those hams and near those shoulders. That's where the majority of your meat is. You want to cool that down as quickly as possible. And other than that, I think you're fine. The biggest thing is, just treat her as good as you can.
Yeah.
And I think some folks just, they are lackadaisical on it. They just kind of, we'll get it when we can get it. We'll stop and give her something to eat.
Yeah, stop, get lunch, go show your buddies what you shot.
And hey, man, 80% of the time it might be fine, but at the same time, it might not. And then you're going to, the first thing we hear is, the meat wasn't that great. Well, I can't help. Like you brought that, we called you and told you there was dirt, there was sticks, there was some green stuff on the side of one of them. We can only do what we can do.
Yeah. And we're not talking about a good shot either.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Some shot placement is crucial.
Yeah.
I've seen a guy one time riding a buck around. I don't know how long he'd had this thing. but he had killed a pretty nice buck. His guts were still in this thing, and he had killed it the day before. Well, the next day, he was still kind of pulling up at the store, showing it off, and I was stuff running out of that thing.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like, man, that deer is ruined. There's no way I'd eat that thing.
No.
He said, ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, and if we wouldn't eat it, we're going to let you guys know, hey, we wouldn't personally eat this deer. You know what I mean?
Have you had that happen?
Oh,
You
yeah.
Call a customer and tell them, look.
At the end of the day, I'm going to protect you and whoever may eat that meat. And I'm going to tell you, hey, I wouldn't eat that.
Comes back on you.
That's right.
That's right. You know? Yeah. So the most preferable way you want somebody to drop it all is skin on, field dressed, and get it to them as fast as possible.
That'd be ideal.
That's the tips you need to know. If you're going to take a deer to the deer processor, get it field dressed as soon as you find it. And this is assuming you got a quick recovery.
Yep.
Get some ice in that cavity, get it in the back of the truck, keep some shade on it, and get it to your processor, whoever you choose. But you're going to have the best quality deer if you do
Absolutely.
that.
That's the best you
can. Yeah, and if you bring it in a cooler on ice, try to put the meat in a bag. Don't put the ice directly on.
I was going to ask that because, you see these guys, I see them on hunting shows, everything they break down, they put in these meat game bags.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they hang them in those bags, but it also keeps, you don't want to just throw it in a cooler full of ice water. And I know that was a thing. Everybody wanted
that was a thing back in the day.
Put all your meat in there, put ice on it, fill it with water, let the bloody water out. But is that,
I think me and Scott don't agree.
So Daniel, I used to do the whole soak it in salt water deal and drain it in a couple of days and pull all the game out, or what I thought was game, until, I really realized that it's basically the processing of the deer, breaking down the muscles, getting the glands out, things like that affects the quality, taste of the meat.
The way I look at it is, would you do that with beef? Would you break down a tenderloin and throw it in a cooler to get all the color out? You wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that started was because there was a breakdown in proper procedures between the hunters and the processors, and things were getting messed up, things were getting funky, and everybody started saying, well, it's the deer, you got to get that funkiness out. No, you don't get the funky, it shouldn't be funky
in the first place. right? Yeah, if it's funky, there's a problem.
That's it.
I agree with that,
because since we've been doing the way we break ours down, and a lot of times we process our own, I don't taste that game.
No,
it tastes like deer. It doesn't taste like deer. It's not game or anything. And I have eaten some people's stuff that it was like,
and I never
sure that was a deer.
So I've heard it from a dozen people, if not more, in my life. Like, oh no, I can't eat it. It's gamey, and I never understood because I never had the gaminess. One year, we were handed an entire cooler, a processed deer in a cooler. We put it in the freezer. My wife said, that's all we eat at the house, whatever we kill. So she said, we're going to have some tacos tonight, get some meat out. So I laid some meat out, threw it in the pan, started cooking it. You could smell the funk as we were cooking it. I tasted it. It was horrible. And I put taco seasoning in it. Still horrible. Put more so much taco seasoning. I was eating taco seasoning with deer, and it was still, we threw the whole thing away. That's when I realized, like, this is what people are talking about when they say that there's, the gaminess, but this is not gaminess. That's not what it is.
It shouldn't be there.
Yeah, it comes from the mishandling.
That's right.
Before you ever process the deer.
And there's other things too. So there's gland. I'm sure y'all know the glands in the hams, the glands in the shoulders or underneath the shoulders. If your processor's not taking the time to break that meat, separate the meat, especially when it comes to grind, people that like most of their meat ground, you're going to get those glands in that meat. And if you get those glands in that meat and you grind it, everything that piece of gland touches is ruined. Absolutely ruined. That's where your funkiness, gaminess comes from. That shouldn't be in your meat. So if your processor's out there trying to make money, trying to hustle, turn it out the door, you have more of a risk of, you may end up getting something that's funky that was not your fault, that is your processor's fault. So we take our time.
I've heard that, and we've always, so whenever we do it, we're big on muscling out everything.
Mm-hmm.
We want to take it off the bone. We want to get it muscled out, get the glands out. And I feel like that's the way you don't taste a gaminess if you do that.
Correct. Right. And that's how we did it. When we were processing ourselves, every muscle was completely separated, and then we'd remove all the we had a little bitty grinder at the house. Remove all the silver skin. If not, it
gunk up your grinder.
Yeah. And we've kind of obviously we can't do that now. I can't. This was a family affair. Like we would put it in a cooler for 2 days, drain it every day, make sure to keep it out of the water, and then Friday night was processing night. It'd be me, my wife, my 3 kids. We'd be at the dining room table in the living room watching a movie. Everybody with the cutting
everybody's
board,
cutting,
cleaning, making sure it's all pretty, and then the next morning I'd go through and do my grind and pack all my stuff.
You know, and what I hear about that is, oh man, you didn't get very much yield out of that. Well, there is some waste that goes to it. And I want to get into yield as we get going about what you can expect. Because I know you said y'all have yield charts that people can see what they can get.
Yes, sir.
But that I've had that same thing happen. It's like, man, you know, when you take the time to really get all that silver skin, to get all that tough connective tissue that you don't want to run through your grinder, all that stuff, you don't get near as much meat as you think you get if you do it properly.
And honestly, so when we bought the place back in 22, I partnered with 301. It was his last year. I bought the place. I owned it, but we partnered because I never run a commercial processor. So I needed to understand what he was doing so I could then go ahead and find, efficiency areas that we can increase efficiency. And that year I kept minimal books, just learning, but we were averaging about 18 to 20% meat yields. Talking to the people around here, everybody else was averaging about the same, between about 20 to 22% meat yield, which doesn't sound like a lot. But keep in mind, we also we've owned a farm, we've processed cattle, we've processed sheep, goats, all that stuff. We've looked up the numbers. A feeder cow, 1,800 to 2,200 pound feeder cow is going to net you 42% meat yield. Now, this is an animal that's been bred to give you as much meat as possible. This is an animal that is not wild by any means. It's put on pasture. It's always got food. It's grain finished. This is the most meat yield you're going to expect is 42%. So anybody that gets a deer processed and says, hey, I brought you a 200 pound deer, I should get 100 pounds of meat. That's not going to happen. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
That would happen if you had the best quality grade beef.
That's exactly right. And so that's been something we've tried to educate our customers too, but we've actually been able to go from, about 20%. And then the following year, we started actually keeping numbers on every single deer that came through. And we've gone from 20% to 25 to 28 to 32. I think last year we were about 32, but that's also skewed because of the smaller deer that were coming in.
Yeah.
Our full-size does, your 5-year-old Dannies that weigh 130, 140 pounds, we're probably getting about 35%. Your bigger rutting bucks, your 4 or 5-year-old bucks that come in at 220, 230, shoot, we're getting 100 pounds, 110 pounds of meat out of those jokers. Like, that's 35% meat yield on something that is a wild animal. Like, for me, that's incredible.
It is,
and I don't think people realize the difference. Yeah, you may save a little money, save $10 going down the road to get your deer processed. But if I can get you almost double the meat for $10 more, why would you?
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was one of my questions I had wrote down. Do you see a huge difference in, just say, I don't know what the average buck is in Mississippi because it just varies so much from county to county. Yeah. But do you get more meat off of the deer like during the rut or before the rut or after the rut? Because I know they go through those phases of, they
don't eat, they just chase.
Yeah. So pre-rut, you'll start seeing the meat yields go up, and then they'll peak just before peak rut. And then during peak rut, you'll see them come in. They'll be big, they'll be swole, but they'll be skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get waves, and they'll pick back up. I think it's every 28 days is when the does go hot. Mm-hmm. And so you can kind of expect if your peak rut is November 20th, you can expect about December 20th you're going to get a second push. And any does that haven't been bred, now you've got the same number of bucks that are chasing that very small number of does. That's when you get your big fun hunts.
Yeah.
You got, I don't know if you ever seen like 6 bucks going out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dogging one.
Woo, that's I
love it. Can't wait. Well, so Scott, I want to talk a little bit behind the scenes, like what actually happens when a customer comes in and drops that tailgate and has some meat for you. So can you walk me through the process of what y'all go through?
So typically when they come in, we'll take them inside. We have an assistant sitting at the desk. We'll get their contact information, name, number, how they want to process the deer. We'll get the deer pulled out, get it tagged, and then from there it's pretty much just talking about the hunt, the excitement of the hunt, how it transpired, if there's kids involved, things like that. I love to hear about all of the entirety of that day for them. That's what gets me going and keeps me going.
You get some information there on how long it took them to get it to you.
So typically, yes. Typically, they'll say, hey, we found this right away, or it's been, we spend a little while to find it, and that typically happens with me and Daniel. I mean, my boys sometimes shot placement isn't the greatest. They just got into hunting, and we spent a few hours last year ourselves chasing deer for the boys. But it's basically cut and dry, man. You come in, you fill out the paperwork, you tell us what you want, we give you the options that we offer, and it's a variety of options. And then at the end of that, they'll sign their ticket agreeing that what was taken in was how they want their deer processed. We'll give them a copy of that. We'll retain a copy, and
are y'all doing a deposit? Like I know a lot of them do.
So
you have to.
So we try to. We're kind of forgiving on that, and it's burned us a little bit in the past. Most of the deer hunting community are honest people, and we take that. We pride ourselves on being men of our word. Mm-hmm. Somebody comes in and says, "Hey, man, I don't have it on me right now. I'll take care of it when I pick it up. I'm going to take you for your word." And so at the end of the day, if they don't come back and pick it up, we're still going to find somebody that needs that meat.
Yeah, you can't sell it legally, right?
No.
Sell it, unfortunately.
No. But you can find somebody a family in need or a donation place.
Right.
Give it away. We worked with the Palmer Home for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're working with Hunters for the Hungry is who we're trying to get with this year. And we end up with, a couple 1,000 pounds of meat left over every
year. People just don't pick up.
And that's people that have given a deposit, people that haven't given a deposit, people that have paid their entire order. We're talking $500 orders with 30 sticks of summer sausage and regular sausage and brats. Just never show back up. And we call, we text, we post it on the Facebook, we share it with everybody we can think, and just never hear from them again. And it's terrible. I hate it, but we're not going to let it rot either.
Yeah, no,
it's not getting thrown away.
That's right.
So you take it from a truck. I'm assuming. Let's just talk about skin on deer that's been field dressed. They go hang in a cooler.
Mm-hmm.
How many deer do y'all typically have hanging? And do y'all age them, or do you just?
So we try to go 3 days. During peak season, it may go down to 2 days. But the animals without the fat content that you see in beef don't need to be aged. It's not the same thing. Same thing for pork. Same thing for goats and sheep. The pork doesn't need to be aged at all. As soon as it's cold, it's ready to cut. But sheep, deer, goats, very little fat on them. The meat's not going to get much more tender from 2 days to 5 days. Now, I have heard of people hanging them long term with perfect humidity, perfect temperatures, and yes, those back straps are like butter. But we can't. There's no way.
No way you could do it.
Yeah, we'll carry 100, 150 deer in a cooler at a time.
That's a lot. That's a lot of deer.
It is.
Yeah.
We oversize our cooling system so that we can get it down to temp and keep it at temp. And then we actually had to buy a couple more coolers last year. We got a big expansion planned, hopefully in the next year, where we can have double the cooler space. We're just whatever we can do, and all that means is if we start getting too full, it means we're processing day and night.
Yeah,
that's all we can do. We're not going to turn customers down.
Yeah,
I think we're the only ones that have.
Last year, I believe we were the only ones that did not shut down throughout the year.
So you didn't have to cut off.
No.
Wow, that was a question I had too. Is what do you do when people? Because a good processor will get full.
Oh yeah, we'll work harder.
Yeah, work harder.
There's no quit.
At the end of the day, that's a testament to our guys that are in there. I mean, they realize the sacrifices that Daniel made to retain the business.
Yeah.
To take care of them. So if times get tough, they take care of us.
Yeah.
And they'll put in the extra effort.
And they're getting paid too.
It's not just the guys. I mean, I can remember last year Thanksgiving Day. It was either Thanksgiving Day or the day before Thanksgiving. It was me, Scott, my wife, and his wife. We're up there till 1:00 in the morning.
Still cooking turkeys and watching football. Y'all are cutting meat.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah. We're gonna do what needs to be done to get our customers their meat.
So when people bring in cooler deer, do they stay in the cooler the whole time, or do y'all meat lug them, or
always
do y'all have a process for that?
Always next day. So the next processing day after that cooler comes in, the coolers get done first. And if we have 20 coolers in and all we can process is 20 that day, then we're going to process the 20 coolers first because the hanging deer are going to be just fine.
Y'all keep the coolers until your meat's ready, or you got to come back and get them?
So we used to, and then we ran into an issue. There's always a gray area. Hey, I left my cooler. Hey, I didn't. Blah 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 blah. We have a couple instances with coolers and horns and things like that. So now when they they bring in a cooler deer, that deer's going to come out of their cooler and it's going to go into our trays and get tagged in our trays, and they take their cooler back with them right then. That way, because at the end of the day, we don't want
to fight with you either.
Yeah.
If you say you brought me a cooler and it's not here, one of two things happen. One, you're telling a fib, and I'm not going to sit here and call you a liar. If we have cameras, we can go back and check them, but at most of the time, like, hey, if you say you brought it, we're assuming another hunter took it. And they may have taken it inadvertently instead of their cooler. It looks similar, or they may have taken it on purpose. And, that's something new for me. I've never lived my life trying to protect myself from anybody else. I've always operated on a handshake. Whatever, I can take your word to the bank, and you should be able to take my word to the bank. But it happens. And last year we bought probably 2 coolers, 3 coolers for customers, nice coolers too. They said they dropped it off. It wasn't there. Again, we're not going to lose a customer. Whatever it takes to keep our customers, to keep us growing.
I think go ahead giving the cooler back, that's the best way. The processors that I've dealt with that do that, I feel like that was the best option, because I know if you're doing 100, if you got 100-something deer hanging and everybody left the cooler, how are you going to warehouse cooler?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's impossible. So we decided to go that route with it. At the end of the year last year, it worked out well, and going into this season, we're going to continue that. We've had instances where I was telling Mikey the other day when he stopped by, a gentleman came in one night, and he had a really good time on his hunt. Came in and he killed a deer that he probably wouldn't have killed under normal situations under his right mind. And he told one of our guys, he says, "Hey, I don't want this little basket rack. I don't want the horns." So our guy was going to make a knife out of the horns. It was just a small buck. And took his order and everything. Of course, we had it all on film. And he comes back to pick up his deer, and he's like, "Hey, where's my horns?" I was like,
"You said you didn't want them."
Yeah, and it's noted on the order, because we tell our guys, hey, if somebody wants or doesn't want it, note it. That way, if we run into a situation, it's noted. Mm-hmm. And so I called the young man that processed the animal that night to get in the cooler, and I was like, hey, you got this gentleman's horns? He's like, I do. They're at my house. Great Christian kid. He was going to the military. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he brought the horns back. But that guy had literally slammed us on social media after we had worked so hard. Like, listen, we're going to make mistakes. We're human. I think all of us can sit here and agree to that. At the end of the day, we're trying to do the best by the public and get our name back out there so we can protect our way of life, our guys.
That's your brain.
Grow. And he ended up having to go back and recant a lot of that.
On social. Well, at least he did it. Some of them won't even do that.
No.
They just like to dress.
They're wrong. They ain't gonna say
a lot of folks are quick to just jump on there and badmouth you, but that's the part of social media that I don't like.
But back to the process there, Scott. So once y'all start processing those deer, like how does I'm curious about how y'all's like whole system works there. So is one guy working on this deer? Or do y'all have like you're the shoulders guy, you're the the cavity guy, you're the hindquarter guy?
So we have 2 primary cutters in there, and they cut up to 900,000 deer a year for us. 2 primary cutters. They'll be working on 2 deer at one time. They process a deer a piece, right? So
my deer, one man gets it, one man works it through.
Yes, sir. Start to finish, and until it gets to the point to where, like, if you have specialty, you have summer sausage, things like that. And I have a man that'll go through season everything, get your summer sausage tubed up, snack sticks made, jerky marinating, things like that. Your ground product and stuff that can go in the freezer right away, it's going in the freezer. All right, as soon as your cooked product, then it goes in. I try to give people the option, hey, you want to pick it up before we put it in the freezer, or would you rather pick it up frozen? Mm-hmm. Most of them want to pick up frozen because they're not close enough. They would rather just transport it frozen. But that one guy is going to process your deer. Mm-hmm. And when we tell people, hey, we got 2 primary cutters in there for the most part, and they do a great job, they look at us like, man, there's no way. I was like, yeah, we're going to do 25 to 30 deer a day on average. And during your peak rut, the secondary rut, it's busy. I mean, we may do 40 in a day if we have to.
Yeah.
And those tubs, what Scott was saying, so we got 2 on the table going at any given time. This guy has his own set of tubs. So usually we'll start every deer with 2 tubs. We're going to have a narrower tub that's going to be for your solid cuts, and we're going to have a deeper tub that's going to be for your grind. And those tubs stay with the ticket. So that same sheet that you signed when you left, we have it in triplicate. And so one of them is our primary copy that never leaves the book, so we always have a record. One of them goes home with the hunter that dropped the deer off, and the other one is for our cutters. It stays in a plastic envelope, see-through plastic envelope, and it stays on those tubs. And so anytime that deer moves, it's moving together. every single time.
Yeah.
It does not get separated all the way until it gets, that same sheet gets pulled out of its protector and it gets taped to the bag when it's done. And so that sheet has followed that deer the whole way through from the time that it's been dropped off to the time it goes in the freezer. It is that same deer. And that sheet has a ticket number on top. That number matches the tag that we put on the deer. So they never get separated. I'm not saying that we've not made mistakes, man. We have.
Yeah.
But for 99.99% of the time, everything works exactly the way it should. Your deer stays together the whole time. Everything about that package is your deer.
Did you have to come up with that process when you took over, or were y'all already doing that?
Part of it was already in place with Vince. Vince he owned a 301 deer processing prior to us buying it, and he had come up with a lot of this stuff. We've just changed some of the things that didn't work or weren't efficient, and we may change things in the future. But I'm a big fan of if it ain't broke,
don't fix it. Yeah.
And so it's worked out really well. They did have a good operation from what I heard before Vince got sick and he had to go for treatment out of town for a couple of years. They were doing 1,300, 1,400 deer a year. They were a good processor. And so he had a good process as far as operations in order to get to those kind of numbers. But unfortunately, the cat was away, the mouse will play, and they kind of ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
So another thing I was going to ask is, if a customer comes to y'all if I was bringing y'all one deer, base price on the deer was, what'd you say, 125?
Yeah, so
that's just getting.
That would be a whole deer carcass. So the only way you pay 125 for a whole deer is you bring it in skinned and gutted.
Yeah.
And so that usually the guys that'll do that will bring it in one of those big 55-gallon trash bags or two of them. They bring it to us. Legs are cut off at the knees, and it'll fit in one bag. If not, they'll put two. They'll bring it out. We'll immediately hang it up, and you're good to go. If you bring it in skin on, it's $25 for skinning. So you're talking $145. If you bring it whole, so guts in it, it's $40 for skin and gut. So you'd be at $160.
$165.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So that's the low end. If we're doing that. So if I wanted my entire deer in jalapeno and cheese summer sausage,
bring a lot.
Bring your checkbook. And I mean, and we're honest with people. I mean, you guys know the cost of materials is going through the roof now, and we've ate that cost. I know for the last 2 years, we've talked about it. We try to keep the cost down. I mean, it costs money. Our guys are expensive. And then you got the cost of material, energy, all the things that go into running a business. We try not to pass any of that on to the customer unless it's an absolute necessity. Okay. So we ate it this year. We didn't increase on anything. We've talked to some other processors in the area that were debating on going up as well. And right now we're all fighting the same fight here. How do we keep it down for guys like us that hunt and eat the meat, and we take pride in that, and we have to keep it as minimal as we can, considering the cost that we incur to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to figure what y'all would charge me to do that, because I know I did it one time. I broke down 2 deer. Malcolm was supposed to help me, and I think he bailed on me. So I had 50 pounds of summer sausage, and I'm going to tell you, if somebody come and picked that up, it'd cost them $2,000 because my back was hurting. I was so tired of fooling with that stuff.
I mean, it's a process to do it right, and that's what we tell everybody. Is like, listen, like we did a home show, kind of last minute home show for landscaping, and we took some of our summer sausage up. We were eating it for like a snack and stuff. Like people got to asking us, hey, so we got to, we cut it up and give some toothpicks. Man, before it was over with, the people were coming to eat our summer sausage before they went to the food vendors in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great product.
It is.
You let me try some of it last year when I dropped off that Axis, and I was like, man, that's good. That's dang good. It's giving you a run for money, Mike.
Hey, I'm we got to retire. I ain't lying.
We got a pretty good recipe.
I have to try y'all, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. So going back to sausage like that, do y'all add fat? Will y'all add fat if a customer wants it, or what's the normal?
It's typically if the customer wants it. Now, Daniel's an advocate of not adding fat because the meat actually keeps longer. As far as that's not a sausage product. If you're getting a sausage, it's going to have.
So that's what I mean. That's what I would add it to. My burger or my sausage.
Yeah, it's going to have.
What are y'all adding?
10%.
Beef fat.
Beef fat?
Yeah.
On both sides?
Ribeye fat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, we found some kidney fat and beef fat. The kidney fat and ribeye fat are two completely different fats in the way that they break down with the meat. And so I think we've got some plans to get both kinds of fat this year and utilize them in different ways, because we had some issues with some of the fat being more crumbly.
Yeah.
And the crumbly fat is not good for our ground products, like our stuffed products. And so we had to go to like the other fat for it. So
the rendering fat will actually melt.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's kind of what we do. I like some beef fat in my ground burger, but man, I can't, being a barbecue guy, I got to have that pork fat in my sausage.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Man, what Amarillo guys say, pork fat rule.
Yeah, that's right. And but I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than getting some of that hard fat that doesn't want to render. It just kind of flakes and chunks.
Yeah.
It doesn't even cook good when you cook it in a burger.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't want to render. But if you get that good kidney fat, man, it'll melt, and that's where you get flavor from.
That's it.
And a lot of people don't understand that y'all are adding to sausage. I mean, you're paying for that, and you're adding that 10% of whatever it is. It's not free fat.
No, it's not free. That's one of the things we're talking about.
The price of fat. I don't know if you guys have dealt with it too. I can remember when fat was given away.
Yeah. You used to go to a butcher when they were cutting meat, and they would give you deer hunters fat.
Yeah.
And now we've gone from a quarter a pound to $1 a pound to $2 a pound, and it just keeps going up.
Yeah.
Keeps going up. So it does. It costs a lot of money to make sure you get a good quality product.
Sausage.
So I've got a question real quick before we get into some more stuff, but how many times have y'all been accused of not giving back all the meat?
Yeah.
I got a story.
Yeah.
I got a story for y'all.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. So we're all hunters. Y'all have hunted all over this area of Mississippi. For me, and this is only with my experience, but my experience is I've seen or witnessed about 3,000 to 4,000 deer come through there. I've not had a deer come through there that weighed more than 233 pounds. We're
talking about a monster old buck.
I think one of the bucks last year crested 240. We were shocked.
And it was 11. That was one was 11 and a half foot tall. My skid steer, we had to pick him up with the skid steer, and we could not get him where his horns were not dragging the ground to skin him. This is massive deer, 233 pounds. That guy ended up getting, I think, closer to 40% meat yield on that deer. So he got a ton of meat back. So back to the original question. We had, I think, first or second year in, we had a gentleman left us a scathing review on Google. It's still there if you want to go see it. And it kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Just keep it on there just for giggles. But he said he brought us a 300-pound doe. And he didn't understand why he only got back 72 pounds of meat.
A 300-pound doe.
Now, I'll say this. I said, look, by the time I saw that deer, it was skinned and gutted hanging in a cooler. It looked to me like a very large buck, like 180 to 190-pound buck. So if you said that was a doe, I obviously you know the difference between a buck and a doe. So it's a doe. That is probably the biggest doe that's been shot in Mississippi in a long time.
Yeah.
But I can promise you, you did not bring me a 300-pound doe. I said, did you weigh it? I said, no, my buddy looked at it. He said it was 300 pounds too. I can't. I
got a
can't.
witness.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Gosh, man. And so, we got publicly accused of stealing half of that guy's meat.
Yeah. 300-pound doe.
Man, let me tell you what. If anybody out there shoots a 300-pound doe, I want to see it.
I want to see it too. I want to see that scale.
Man. But he was mad. Never even came pick the meat. Just accused us of stealing his meat. And back to what we were saying earlier, we have thousands of pounds of meat left over every year. Like, there is no reason for me to take anything from a customer.
Yeah.
Horns, I don't need your horns either.
Yeah.
I go right now. I got 70, 80 sets of Euro mounts up there that still haven't been picked up.
Yeah.
Some of them in the 140, 150, 160-inch class in Mississippi. Those are banner deer.
People didn't pick them up.
I don't want your 100-inch scrub buck basket six. I got nothing for it.
I would want that 300-pound doe head. I'd have to bounce that.
I would.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have to make a special form. You'd have to put that on an elk form or something.
It'd be hanging at camp.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that's one of the things.
Trophy doe, man.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. I guess,
world record.
To brag a little bit, I guess we've done good enough. We've got people that bring us back animals from out of state, like you and a couple other people. We processed the elk already this year that was broke down, brought back to us. Guy was real pleased.
All bone out. We don't process it if it doesn't have all.
Yeah, that's a regulation.
Yeah, exactly.
State.
We had a guy bring us some meat from a water buffalo. We processed a water buffalo last year.
Bison.
Yeah, a bison.
Elk, your axis deer, red stag. We've had a number of different animals come through there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
It's a challenge to get it processed.
Let's talk about the horns.
Yeah.
So say I bring in, a buck that I want to get mounted. Yep. What's y'all's process, and how do y'all get those horns back to me so I can get them to the tax? Because y'all do y'all have a partnership with the taxidermist?
So we've been recommending Justin Bursai for a couple of years.
He's a local guy.
He's a local guy. He does amazing work.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ever work with Casey McLaren? the taxidermist?
I don't think so.
Hunter
Williams is our guy. That's
Hunter's fantastic too. Casey, I met Casey maybe 15 years ago, and he was building his business. He's gone on now where he only does very high end. We're talking, Boone and Crockett winners, top in the state.
Yeah.
And so we can't afford him anymore. Justin Bursai's quality is about there with Casey McLaren. How it's going to take time. It's not a 3-month turnaround like some of these guys, but he does a fantastic job.
So typically, if you bring in a buck, Malcolm, and you say, "Hey, how am I going to get your horns back to you? You want it caped out? You want to take it to a taxidermist?" You have the option. I mean, you can stay there. Literally, it's going to take my guys probably 30 minutes to get it caped out, get the head back in the bag to you with the hide on it, and you can take it with you that night.
Mm-hmm.
It's $115 to get one caped out right then. Typically, if we cape it out, we'll take some off of the skin fee, of course, because we've already done half of the work there, so there's no skin fee.
And I think it's 100. It's not 115. It's 100.
That's right. It's $100 on
cape
a cape
fee.
and $110 for a year.
That 100 also buys you insurance with us. So for those people that have had their deer caped by somebody else and taken it to their taxidermist, and their taxidermist says, I can't use this cape. Well, if we mess up your cape, if you brought that deer into me whole, so not gutted, and we mess up that cape, we're going to get you another cape.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it takes, we're going to get you another cape, or we're going to pay the difference to get you another cape, whatever it takes. But we also take the time to make sure to train our guys on how to cape these deer
properly.
Absolutely properly. And we really haven't had any issues.
Just a couple, and that's mainly from the hunter gutting it in the field and cutting it too far down.
And
bring it up. So that's the process. Or you can leave it there and we'll cape it out. If you're in a rush and you say, "Hey man, I'll call you in a couple of days," cape will be in the freezer.
Yeah.
So it's not sitting out there.
You wrap them up and bag
them. And they tend to do all right. And that's, again, we tell our hunters, come back and get them. But if we get to peak season, we can't hold any that is not meat.
No,
we get so full so fast. We've got to get them out. So during peak
storage
season,
space is at a premium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why the expansion is. We're working on an expansion. It's been a blessing. I mean,
now as far as a euro, you bring it into us. You tell us you want a euro, man. As long as it's not peak season may take a month to get it back to you.
Yeah,
but usually a week.
Do y'all do those in house?
Yes, sir.
Send them somewhere
in house. Where I think we're the only ones that are doing them in house.
What's your flesh and bull, or do y'all have beetles?
No,
flesh and bull.
Well,
yeah. And I think they turn out. We've gotten
better. They do really good.
Yeah.
So I've compared my guys' work to guys with beetles.
Yeah.
I've never had one in beetles, but I'm telling you, I could not tell the difference.
Yeah.
The two.
So do y'all have a price set for this year on a euro mount?
I think 110.
110 without a plaque. If you want a plaque, then we could do anything.
We're going to have some mahogany, state of Mississippi, CNC cut slabs that they're working.
That you can put them on. That's cool.
Yeah.
So y'all got a bunch of different products. So what is y'all's favorite product that y'all do?
Yeah.
And as far as like eating,
so jalapeno snack. As far as specialty is concerned, me and jalapeno snack sticks, we go together like white on rice, man. I will eat them breakfast, lunch, and dinner during the year. During season when it's hot, we're working out. You can't really eat a lot. I'll take a bag, throw them on my dash, and they'll get warm in the sun. That's what I'll eat throughout the day.
Yeah.
As far as anything else, I like my back straps, man. I like my whole cuts. I like being able to do different things with them. I love making deer roll-ups. I'm going to submit a recipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
We get to fighting over them. We can never make enough at the house. And that's that and the little mini steaks. So we'll take our back straps, slice them really, really thin. I'm talking about as thin as you can possibly slice them. Beat them out, tenderize them, season them real good. I'm Cuban, of Cuban nationality. We have a seasoning called I think it's Adobo Goya, Goya brand, and season both sides of them. Flash fry them. Throw them on a biscuit with some hot sauce and a fried egg. That's
some good eats. That sounds good. Man, I didn't get you down to camp. We didn't record that recipe, man.
My son,
that'd be a good one.
My youngest son, he's an outlaw, but as far as deer hunting is concerned, that joker has been killing deer at 300 yards since he was 7 years old.
Yeah,
and he will. I think last year he skinned and gutted like 22 deer in 45 minutes.
It was crazy. I've never seen anybody faster.
Wow.
A monster.
Never.
When it comes to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you train him?
Yeah. Well, he's done it more now.
Yeah.
He's
he
good.
give you a refresher.
Golly.
He was crucial last year during the busy. I mean, we were slammed and he come in clutch. he stayed out there. We were skinning, gutting deer till probably midnight or later.
Like cordwood out there.
Yeah, it was all hands on
crazy.
deck.
You'll get 10 or 15 for the day, averaging 1 an hour, and then 7:30 p.m. rolls around and you get truck after truck after truck, and they're bringing you 3, 4, 5 at a time.
So give us the hours of drop off real quick. Well, we hadn't mentioned that. Like, when can someone bring a deer to y'all?
So during bow season, we're on a call-in basis type deal because of the fluctuation. All right. So if you give us a call, typically within 30 minutes, we can be there and get you taken care of. As soon as youth season opens up, man, we're 8 to 8. We're rolling from 8 o'clock and 7 days a week.
Yeah. We may actually push Friday, Saturday, Sundays to 9.
Yeah.
Because we've had most of the time, if they'll call, say I'm running behind, my guys will stick around. But I think
this isn't a drop off where I got to show up and get the deer in the cooler myself and fill out a tag. There's going to be because I've been to guys like that. Oh, you can just go drop it off. You can put it in the cooler.
No, so typically the only time we've ever done that before, and we have a cooler off to the side for that reason, it's a snow and ice event, something like that, and the guys can't get in. Or we're working on the landscaping side of it for snow and ice, and we'll put tickets out there, say, hey, and this guys have been coming to us recurring that we know and trust.
Yeah.
And this is only because 99% of people aren't even out on the roads at this point.
Yeah.
So we're the fools that are out there pulling heavy equipment during this time. And then there's the other fools that are out there hunting, and no offense, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah, we'd rather be hunting, but
somebody's got to work.
Somebody's got to work.
The wife loves money more than we love deer hunting. That's typically that's where we're at.
But usually when somebody pulls up, by the time they walk inside and we've walked them through the order sheet, their deer has already been pulled out of the back of their truck. It's already been hung up. It's already got a tag on it. It's already being skinned. And we might be gutting it and getting ready to put it in the cooler by the time they walk out, filling out their paperwork.
It's that fast.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they sit there and share the hunt and things like that, or if there's a kid involved. There's been a couple times last year. I'm big. You got war paint on your first.
Mm-hmm.
And so some young kids would come in and get to talking to the parents, and they were excited as kids' first deer and all, and I didn't see any blood on them, and I know they just come from the hunt. I'm like, hey, I called the dad or mom over to the side and like, hey, you mind if we give them a little war paint?
Get a picture.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And do stuff like that because that's memories. And as a father of older kids, now my 2 kids are grown, and I have 2 step kids, step boys that are, one's almost grown, the other one's still, he's 11. I look back and I cherish that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember my son's first one. We got to paint him up.
That's it.
You got to.
Let's talk about what's the most popular thing people are ordering, but out of the specialty stuff.
So probably the largest thing ordered for us right now is a breakfast sausage.
Yeah,
that's typically like we keep up with the numbers across the board on everything, meat yields, specialties, things like that. And our breakfast sausage is probably.
Do y'all do like a spicy and a regular? Is this an in-house blend? What do you
mild, medium, and hot?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mild, medium, and hot.
Mild, medium, and hot. Yeah. Same seasoning base, just either crushed pepper or cayenne pepper, depending on what you're wanting as far as the heat. But the flavor has been, the response we've gotten regarding the flavor has been incredible.
How often do y'all change like flavors or try to come up with something new? Is that something that you're working on all the time?
It is. Last year we added burritos to the menu, and it did really well. This year,
like hand roll burritos, ready to go?
Yeah. Throw them in the microwave, warm them up.
Is it cooked already?
It's cooked, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Okay.
Yep. We did breakfast burritos last year, and I think this year we're just going to go to burritos, which the only difference is no more eggs.
Yeah.
And they're bigger this year. I think there's a good market for it. I know I really enjoyed it last year, where I could get up in the morning and just throw me one in the microwave, go get ready, come back, eat, get in the truck, and eat it as I'm rolling. Yeah, absolutely. So we did that. Scott came up with a pineapple jalapeno cheddar on the summer sausage and the brats. That did really well. We're still trying to figure out a way to get more pineapple flavor in it without adding the liquid.
Most
pineapple. So we're always trying something new, but at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the stuff that does really well, we're not really looking to make huge changes on it.
You mentioned brats. Do y'all do any other kind of case sausage too?
No.
So no, we're playing with the idea of doing link sausage this year.
Yeah.
Trying to get into that and advertise that a little bit here pretty soon. So be looking out for that.
That's a Central Mississippi got it down.
Yeah, they do.
But Vans is where we're gonna try to get to that type of quality, but it's going to take some time for us to get it there, and it's going to take some trying with the seasonings and the smoking and the profiles of everything. So we'll see how it goes, but that's definitely a big goal for us. We're talking about building a huge smoker next year during that expansion, like a walk-in kind of deal where we could hang sausage in there, which we're
pretty
trying,
close.
Can you buy? You can't buy that carcass. You pretty much got to build that.
We're going to build it.
We're gonna build
Yeah, we're going to build it. I mean, we do everything. Well, anything indoors and outdoors.
Yeah.
We like to give it a shot. So it's a challenge that Daniel and I have been. I don't know that we haven't met a challenge yet. I'm excited.
that we would not face. I mean, we're all about, hey man, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
Why not go after it?
Why be
not
limited?
give it if you fail, you fail. Just move on. But there's a lot of opportunities I think people don't take, and because they're worried about the outcome. But risk big, win big. There's an opportunity to also do really well for yourself if you do, and we're trying.
Now, I do tell you this: I do want to get into some deer bacon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give that a run this year once I get that perfected.
A couple of test deer to go in that new smoker y'all build. You just let me know. And,
Anytime.
You mess them up. I'll still take them.
Hey, speaking of that, we do take donation deer. So if anybody out there shoots a deer, doesn't want to mess with it, bring it to us. If you shoot a deer and you want just the back straps out of it, but you don't want the rest of it to go to waste, bring it to us. We will pull them back straps out, pack them for you, hand them to you, and we'll take care of processing the rest of that deer. So no reason. I hate to see animals just laying on the side of the road with the back straps out of them, wasted. Please don't do that. Let somebody else.
Yeah, let us get it to somebody who needs it. At the end of the day, if you don't want to do anything but just drop it off.
Yeah.
Here's something that we hadn't talked about, and I think it's important. It's this whole CWD thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all test people's deer or have a way to send people's deer? Or is there any kind of regulation that processors have to send a sample in? Or does that come up? Processing world?
We're not working with the MDWFP. So as all that we can do is minimize the amount of possible prions. It's a prion-based disease that go into the meat, and the way we do that is we're deboning pretty much everything before we make any big cuts. If you do get solid cuts, like when we do ham steaks, those are bone-in steaks, so that would be the only worry. But that's up to the customer. Unfortunately, I can't do that for you. If you want to get them tested and let us hold them in the cooler, let us know. You want to send it off, we'll take the brain matter out for you. You can go take it to an MDWFP station and then decide what you're going to do. Only problem is it's going to take a couple weeks to get it back. And so what do you do with the deer in that time? You're not going to be able to let it sit. So that's completely up to the customer.
Do you see, how many of your customers do you think worry about eating a deer that possibly may or may not have CWD?
Well, let me start by saying this. We hunted the same property out there on Kaiser Mountain Road, me and my family, for 12 years. Every deer that we shot off there, we processed and we ate. Every single one. Me, my wife, and my kids. And anybody that's ever been over to my house and had any kind of red meat, you ate deer.
Surprise.
And so whenever the CWD thing came up, we never sent anything off to be checked. We didn't see any deer that looked sick. Now, we had 3 or 4 bucks that got shot off there that were mountable, and the guy took them off to a taxidermist. Every one of those tested positive for CWD. So I couldn't tell you. All I can say is I guess I've been eating CWD deer for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be 6'2" and white.
So you got a little tan. I mean, it never really crossed my mind. They say there hasn't been a case where it's transferred over to humans. And I think as long as you're cooking it properly too, and it's been handled properly by your processor, it's fair. I mean, I consider it safe. My family eats a ton of deer meat.
And it's not in the meat. That's the thing. It's not in the meat. It's going to be in the spinal cord.
Yeah,
and it's going to be in the brain. So as long as you're not eating those objects or taking that and mixing it up with your meat, there's not really any chance of anything spreading. So that's kind of what I'll tell the folks listening is that's what you got to stay away from. So if you want to really make sure that you're not going to even be exposed to it, just make sure you debone it. Make sure it's a good shot. If you break bone on the shot end, maybe get rid of the meat around there. But you shouldn't really have to worry about it as far as I can tell. And obviously, if it looks sick, don't eat it.
Yeah, we've only had 1 in 3 years. I'm telling you, 1 in 3 years. And
You said that something's wrong with that deer.
It was sick, and I called the young man and said, "Listen, I'm not going to process this deer for you." I knew the gentleman. He come up, and I was like, "Listen, I mean, this is the beginning of rifle season. You could count every rib in it." And I was like, "This deer is you don't need to eat it." Yeah, I said, "So you can take it and get it tested." I was like, "But we do look out for you."
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, if we wouldn't eat it, we're not gonna try to process it for you just to make $1. I'm gonna call you and say that's our word. We're not gonna do that to you.
I'm sure you got some stories where you've had some stuff come in that's been questionable.
Dude.
Oh man, they bring in whole deer in a cooler. I'm talking about a cooler deer is not a whole deer that's been gutted or not gutted and stuffed into a cooler. Okay, so let's clarify that real quick.
Cooler deer.
Yeah, exactly.
Whole deer just mashed in a cooler.
I mean,
guts, hair, and all.
Guts, hair, and all. I mean, I ain't talking about a big cooler either. I'm talking about a German Shepherd.
He folded him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Solid deer.
But I mean, we see some stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, you just kind of get a chuckle out of it. Ted Nugent, it's not about the trophy; it's about the meat, right? I mean, and it's everybody's trophy is a little bit different. If you're feeding your family, I'm not here to judge you if you bring in a 60-pound deer or 200-pound deer.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm not a trophy hunter. I never have been.
I like to eat.
I've been an eater.
That's right.
Yeah, I like to eat.
Right.
Yeah, I've been an eater.
Well, fellas, what's one more question before we're almost out of time, but one more question. What is you kind of answered the prep thing? So if you have ground deer, what is y'all's favorite way to cook with like ground deer sausage?
You want to go, and then I'll tell mine.
Yeah, let's talk about some cooking stuff.
As far as how I like to cook my grind, or preference on fat in, fat out?
No, sir. I'm talking about like how do you like your dish that you like to make with that?
So I'm like Daniel at the end of the day. His may be a little bit better than mine. Mine's roll-ups. My family loves roll-ups. I can't cook enough of them like Daniel. I mean, we'll make 60, 70 at a time, and by the time it's over, said and done, I may get 5. That's a true story. I love to cook spaghetti, chili, tacos, anything you can make out of the grind. I like to do it. I love the breakfast sausage in the morning. I like to put in my rotel, things like that. But Daniel is definitely the guy when it comes to.
Give us your roll-up recipe then.
All right. So deer roll-ups a la Daniel and Kim Kilsey, my wife. You're going to take your back straps, and depending on how big they are, you're going to cut them down to maybe 12 to 14 inches long. And then you're going to take your knife. It takes a little bit of knife work to do it, but you're going to take that knife sideways against your table, and you're going to follow that whole back strap and try to cut you the thinnest slice possible of the length of that piece of back strap.
Oh, no. So, okay, I've never cut it like that. I've always went across. It's like you're taking off silver skin.
That's right.
Yeah. Imagine taking off silver skin.
And you want, like, if you can get it to 1/8 of an inch, get it to 1/8 of an inch. If it's a quarter, it's a quarter, but the thinner the better. Pound them out, season them up. We always put cream cheese, jalapenos, roll them up, and then wrap them in bacon, put a couple toothpicks through. And then sometimes we've gotten into this recently is we'll put them in like Italian dressing overnight.
While they're wrapped up?
While they're wrapped up. And essentially bring a pan up, cover them up with Italian dressing, and then the next day when it's time to cook, throw them on there just good and cold, get that real hot so you get that bacon crispy. If not, you'll overcook the meat trying to get the bacon crispy. So you want to get it real hot, get that bacon crispy, let that turn down the temperature a little bit, maybe 15, 20 minutes max, usually about 10. And you pull them off, give them about 5 minutes to rest, and just go to town.
Yeah. I've never cut them like that. I've always cut that back strap across.
Yep.
And you had smaller pieces. But having that longer piece makes it easier to roll up, makes it easier to stuff, makes it easier to wrap with bacon.
And you get that. So for me, it's the crispiness. So you get the meat flavor, the meat texture, but you also get the crispy on the outside of the meat where it's kind of grilled up just a little bit, so a little crunchy, along with the bacon being a little crunchy, but the inside's good and soft and just barely cooked through.
So you're making me hungry right now.
Yeah, I know.
It's close to lunchtime.
So are you doing fresh jalapenos or jarred jalapenos?
Usually jarred jalapenos.
Okay, so sliced.
Yeah, I would love to do some fresh ones, but my whole family, I say they got vanilla taste buds.
So they don't like the heat.
Yeah, they're like, this is spicy. I'm like, all it has is salt on it.
Yeah,
it can't be spicy.
Now I like to throw a little pickle in mine with the jalapeno to offset the taste. Yeah,
okay, like sweeter deal.
Deal.
Yeah. And as far as grind, we don't make anything special with ground deer because we treat it like ground beef.
Yeah.
Literally, it to us it is the same as ground beef.
Mm-hmm.
People have said to us that they have trouble keeping their burgers together when they use the ground deer because it doesn't have enough fat. I never put fat in my meat because it goes rancid faster than meat does.
Yeah.
So the more fat content you have, the less the less amount of time you're going to keep it in the freezer. And this is what we eat year round. But as far as our burgers falling apart, if I'm cooking 30 burgers, I may have one or two that break up a little bit on me, but I've not really had that issue. And if I don't have to add any additional fat to it, I'm not going to.
I'm going to tell you my secret.
What's that?
For every 1 pound of defrosted meat that I'm fixing to burger up, I mix in 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I've been telling him for 2
1
years.
tablespoon. 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
1 tablespoon.
And it adds enough fat to where you don't know it. A lot of people say they don't like mayonnaise. You don't taste it.
You don't taste it.
But it adds that fat, and it makes it stay together enough to where you don't have to add an egg. You don't have to add breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
You're not making meatballs.
That's right. You're making a burger.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna definitely try it.
But a tablespoon of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Blue.
I'm a big fan of that too. Blue plate. That's it. That's it.
Well, guys, is there anything else y'all tell everybody where they can find you besides over on off 301? Give them your socials. Y'all have website,
a Facebook,
Yeah.
and then you can find us on if you go to Maps on either Apple Maps or Google Maps, you'll be able to find us there. Directions, reviews, pictures of everything. But hit us up on Facebook. We're good about responding.
High Cotton Meats.
High Cotton Meats on Facebook. Our phone number is 662-544-0744. They'll answer it immediately or they'll call you right back. We can get text messages at that number. We communicate really well via text. But yeah, come see us, man. Try us out. I promise you won't be disappointed. And if you are, let us know. We're going to make it right.
Awesome. So Scott, you're there every day, right?
Pretty much on and off, in and out, as
What
much
about
as
you,
I
Dad?
can
You
be.
there in the
Like-
office?
In and out.
In and
Just
out?
depends.
Well, I know you're going to be taking care of folks this year, and I'm excited about deer season coming up and hopefully dropping some meat off to y'all and
Oh, I'm excited.
checking out some of them snack sticks.
Sir, I love those things.
Mike, you got anything else?
No, that's it. Y'all just y'all check us out on Facebook, Buck Junkie Outdoor Club. Like Michael said at the start of the podcast, we'll be running a contest there that you can get in on. Don't miss out on that. Got some recipes and different things coming out on TikTok, and YouTube, and Facebook. So don't miss out on those because we're getting fired up.
It's deer season, y'all.
Mhm.
We'll see y'all next time. We gone.